in probably most of my shows with non-IT people in the audience, I hear one thing, always. I'm not interesting for hackers. I have no information for them. My data is not important, and which is wrong actually, because they don't want your data. They want your, let's say, your user ID to get access to your company. Because if you work there, you have a user ID and you have access to different systems. The title Comedy Hacker was given from a German magazine when they saw me once performing on a stage and holding a presentation, because, well, actually they thought that I'm not doing just a regular PowerPoint slideshow, but it was more like a show. Yeah, the word show is probably quite right. So it was a little more entertaining, but not like a comedy act, you know, but it was not the boring just slides. And when they said, wow, that's like a comedy hacker, I said, wow, what a cool word. So I registered that officially, and it's now a trademark that I own for, I don't know, almost 10 years. My previous work or jobs actually helped me a lot to do what I do now. I started with UPS after university, then went on to Deutsche Telekom and stuff. And I'm a certified programmer. So, which is quite important because, let's say, normally I know what I'm talking about. I did this in a job, and this is what helped me a lot. Because the things that I show on stage sometimes leave questions. So people from the audience ask, can you explain this in detail or something like that? And I know these things. I'm not an expert, of course not, in every field, like in Bluetooth as well as in, I don't know, operating systems as well as in Ethernet or something like that. But I have a pretty good base and understanding, and that helps me a lot. And this is what I learned from my previous jobs at UPS and Deutsche Telekom. When I talk about passwords and password cracking and good passwords and bad passwords, there's one part where I tell the people that a big problem is that many people use the same password over and over again on different systems. And just to make it short, a bank and PayPal or Amazon, they have security people all over and every day, every night, 365 days a week. But I don't know, your gym, for example, well, they don't probably. And if I can steal your password from the gym and use it at your company or at Amazon or something, then you have a problem here, you know? So, and then I see in the faces, oh, fuck, he's right. Social engineering is the thing that most people are affected, where they really get interested, because it's something they already have seen. You know, when I do caller ID spoofing, which means I call you, and on your telephone display, I show up with a number that I just created. It could be your number. I could call you with your own number, so you would sit there. So, and this is something that they do every day. They take phone calls every day, and they trust the number on the display. And when I do this in a show, they are really like not only surprised but shocked sometimes. So yeah, the social engineering parts where I attack people in the audience, not really, but just for demonstration. This is where they just sit there and say, oh, wow. Let's say in the next 2-3 years, we will have artificial intelligence, AI change a lot for IT security. Well, AI will also play a certain role, because you don't need to have, let's say, deep knowledge to become an attacker, a hacker. If you have or find an artificial intelligence that helps you create virus codes and stuff like that. So this will do some change, which requires more IT security professionals also on the defense side. And I think one thing that will change, even if it stays there, is ransomware. So what we face now, currently, every problem is more or less for every big company is ransomware. So cyber attackers taking your data and you cannot decrypt it, and they ask for money for ransom. This will continue. And what I see now is that the groups change being in Russia to still being mostly Russians, but not in Russia anymore. So they spread around the world, which is also quite interesting and will change something, because they will also attack Russian companies in the near future, which is not happening currently. But well, I think ransomware will stay there for the next couple of years as well. The blue teams will have it more difficult, because I think artificial intelligence will also find creative ways of new attacks that currently are not used, because, well, it might have a new idea. Let's call it idea, even if it's not human. But it might do something out of the data that it learned from and say, okay, let's give it a try this way. So this could be very interesting for blue teams to see new attacks and find ways to reject them. The future of the Internet of Things is pretty interesting, because most gadgets are becoming smart. Like, let's say, even a light bulb will be smart in the near future. And the problem is that not every IoT device is hackable. Definitely not. But there are always some, mostly the cheap ones, but that's how it is. But the problem is that if you have many, many smart devices, the way we are living is dependent on these devices. Like, if we have, let's say, an electronic door opener, and whatever, your battery of the smartphone is off, you would not get in anymore. So this sounds stupid, but the problem is then it's everywhere. So if your smartphone's gone, lost, broken, you cannot enter your home, you cannot turn on the lights, the heating will run day and night, even in summer and stuff like that. So this is something we make ourselves dependent on the things that are unnecessary. On the other hand, it's comfortable. And it's things people, also I, love to do. It's fancy, it's super cool. And what I also think, that we have to rethink the risks of devices we use if they become smart. Let me give you an example. A light bulb, once again, if it's smart and a hacker can turn it off, okay, then it's dark and you cannot read your book. But this light bulb could not be in the reading light at your home. It could be in a traffic light, the red light, for example. If a hacker turns off the red light on a big crossing, well, it could be life-threatening for you, for your family, for your friends. And this is a thing we should keep in mind. But let me finish with a positive attitude of the Internet of Things, because I also like this stuff. It will help, especially older people or people with disabilities, to live a life on their own, or more on their own. As we see now, we have brain stuff that is connected, like Elon Musk did, or not Elon himself, but his company Neuralink, I think is the name. This is fantastic for those people. And I'm really sure that this will do a lot in the future and change a lot for many, many people. But we should not make ourselves dependent on this stuff, because, well, if the power is off, we're done.